Hello Flosstube, welcome back. My name's Dawn and this is my channel, Frosty XStitch. I'm not very organised today, not that I am otherwise, but let's just see how it goes. First I wanted to just say that I think I showed you my present from Stitchy Ina, where she just basically printed out these sheets of, you can't really see it, sheets of paper, so to make it like a book of days. And I've now got all kinds of stickers, stuff to put in here and spruce it up. So I had to wait for that, even though, I mean, it came from Switzerland to Switzerland, which usually doesn't take very long. But yeah, one Etsy shop still hasn't sent it to me, but they want me to review it, but it's just not coming. So I don't know, we'll see. It'll come when it comes. And otherwise, because my writing has gotten pretty horrendous since, you know, you use the typewriter all the time because you're either on your computer or you're on your phone. So yeah, sort of things like, you know, titles, and it's nice to just have a sticker. So bought that, bought a few, more than I actually can fit in there, but I think it's nice to have. Yeah, nice to have. Okay, now I'm going to have to find a system that works, which is not quite that easy. Let's see. Okay, that was a purchase. I also bought two other things that I'm just going to show because then I get that out of the way, because stash enhancement actually has not really happened. Surprise. Yeah, really surprise. I did get 2 patterns, 3 patterns, smallish patterns for Christmas, so I guess that's good. But yeah, what I also did is my cross stitch is all over my flat. So because I live alone, so I stitch in the kitchen at the kitchen table, but I also stitch in the living room, like here. Now that I finally got sort of a stitchy space with a stitchy lamp and a stitchy chair and a stitchy shelves here, and I'm going to do that. That'll be that's a project for another time, but it's already set up. But a lot of my stitchy stuff was just in boxes in the different rooms. So of course I didn't know what I have, where it is, and it's pretty difficult. So I went through all of that. I got all the boxes together, and then I now have, I've got, my stash is sort of, I mean, I do have a fabric stash, but it's not as extensive as other people's stash, because most of what I do is 18 count cream Ada, because I have nearly a bolt of it. But that's in here. I don't have a full DMC. I don't have all of that, but I do have a sort of stash. So a lot of it is in this that I got for my birthday. But I wanted to have like all my kits in a box. Then all my kitted up projects. So that would be, you know, have the pattern, have the floss, have the fabric together in a project bag or Ziploc bag or whatever. So that's all together. And then a patterns only. And of course I have digital patterns. Most of the newer digital patterns are on Pattern Keeper. So those are on this tablet, because that tablet it's an Android tablet. So I only use that. I only use it for Pattern Keeper, nothing else. But I do have on my Dropbox so many patterns. I need to destash them because I think I've got like certain free patterns about 5 times, which really is not necessary. But I need to go through those, but that's not a priority because, I mean, it doesn't clutter up my room. So that was it. So now I can see from here, it's a really big wooden box. It's a wine box, and it's got like project bags and Ziploc bags with ready projects that I wanted to start last year. Yeah, that didn't happen. And I've got my Mirabilia and Nora Corbett's in another box, because my Mirabilia and Nora Corbett's are not just cross-stitch stash, they're also collectibles for me personally. Collectibles, I collect them more than I stitch them. I would love to stitch them, but I never get around to it. So they're in a different box, and they're going also to a different place, because that, you know. And then I have the box with the kits. It's actually 2 boxes. And I could put them, you know, you sort of can put them away because you know where they are and what's in them. And it's easy to get them out and just check. So I've done that. So I've organised all of that. I'm really happy that I've done it. It was not easy to do, and I now just have to keep it up. So when I get new patterns, the patterns go into the pattern place, kits go into the kits, and if I keep it up, I know where what is. Now I just have to find the right space to put the boxes. Some boxes have easy, you know, they just go into certain spaces, and the Nora Corbett's, they're going in there, so I have my space. But I've done that. It was a lot. It was a lot. Anyway, so I think due to that, I actually didn't buy very much. I wanted to buy the newest Mirabilia, the Mirabilia one. She's sort of floating in blue and whitish. I can't remember the name. Because people like Amanda Alberstitch got there before me and bought it from Arts and Designs, and they're totally sold out, and they've still sold out, and they're still sold out, and yeah, so I just have to wait. But I mean, I know that there's a paper shortage and stuff like that going on, so I just have to wait. I get it, because it's one of the new ones. It won't go out of print before they sell it to everybody who wants it. Oh, anyway, that's what I think. So I didn't really need to buy anything, but Stickstoff, I found Stickstoff by finding a Facebook group called Needleminders sind Rudeltiere. So needleminders are Rudeltiere. What do you call animals that are in groups, like antelopes? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So you know, needleminders are group animals. Lovely name. Found those. So I showed that last year when I ordered from there. Bought needleminders from there. But they're on this Facebook group where they just have needleminders, but also a few other things. But they actually have a shop. They have an online shop, and they also have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm sorry if you can hear that. That's the fan. My computer decided to put the fan on for whatever reason. It's not even warm. Hope you can't hear that. So they have a real shop, and yesterday or day before yesterday, you can search for it. It's Sylvia Stickstoff. Sylvia with a Y. You can find her in, I always have a list of the Under 1000 Softs Club. She's in there. So if you search for Stickstoff or Sylvia, anything like that, you'll find her in there. And she goes through and she shows you the inside of the shop. And that you can order anything from that shop. You can phone them and say, in your video you showed this and I want that. They have kits, they have everything. And she just goes through and shows it. So you can either phone them up or you can go on the online shop, or yeah. They're actually going to give something for the goodie bag for Stitch Basel, which I think is really nice. They said they can't come to Stitch Basel because it's just husband and wife, and it's a bit too far. They're in Germany, but they're going to send something for the goodie bag, which I think is absolutely nice. It's really fantastic. Anyway, so they had this, it came up in my news feed, and it looks like this, and I thought like, oh, that looks really nice, but what is it? Well, basically you can sort of slide it open. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's wood, and it has two. You can get them with just one, but I decided to have two. Now you actually can take them apart. So this is just the top. As you can see, they've got very strong magnets, and this is wood, and this is not sticky. I was asked if this was sticky. It's not, but you can make it sticky by just putting in something there, so that's okay. But it's made for beads. Now I know that in Germany a lot of people do basically cross stitching with beads, but only beads, not like I do with the Mirabilia where I stitch and then I use beads as well. It's the whole picture is beads, and it's not diamond stitch, it's not diamond painting, it's bead stitching. Anyway, so you would use something like this, and it's really handy because you can just sort of you slide it open. So my beads would be in here in the different compartments, and then I just sort of slide it closed, and I mean they won't mix, and it's really handy tool, and it was not that expensive. You can get them in different colours, so I had to get one of these. And as this could not travel alone, I found a lovely pair of scissors. I mean, you know, not that I need scissors, but I was cheated out of some scissors because the post office in the UK would not allow my friend to send them. So I went and bought myself some. Anyway, so there I go again, mixing it all up with my purchases first. Anyway, so I love to wear like woolen sort of things like this in the winter, but this is unfortunately a blend. It's comfortable, it's like really nice and soft. It is as soft as it looks, but it's a blend, and I think it's got sort of, what did I find? It is something like acrylic, alpaca, polyamide, I think that means linen, and elastic. So I mean it's got all sorts of, you know, it's not just wool. It's not just wool and alpaca and whatever. So my hair goes a bit sticking to, yeah. Otherwise, I love it. I mean, I love woolen hats, I love woolen gloves, I love woolen socks. I only wear woolen socks. So, yeah. Okay. So, you're here with the stitching. It's already about 30 minutes in. Okay. I finished my squirrel. It's this guy here, and I showed you this because it's from the Mr. XStitch cross stitch guide, and unfortunately it's from the section where it's all about 1/4 and 3/4 stitches, and he even shows it in Ada, and I chose a lovely green Ada. Now of course, yes, I have the information. I chose Lakeside Needlecraft fabric that was a special, I don't know what for, and it was called Woodland, and it was 16 count, and it was green, so it had a green tinge to it. Yeah, so I stitched it on that, and because it's Ada, you have to pierce the fabric. Now I thought, okay, I mean, I don't have problems with that because I do have to do 1/4 and 3/4 stitches on my Mirabilias, and if I do a pin stitch I have to pierce the fabric, so it's not really a problem. But if you look at this, I don't know if you can see it, but like every time a colour changes, like from there down to there, either the bottom or the top has 1/4 stitches and the other one has 3/4 stitches. So you have to decide which one is going to have 1/4 stitches and which one is going to have 3/4 stitches. Now, doing the top part here, I somehow, I don't know, I turned the fabric around to do it like this because it was just easier because it's a paper copy, and I did that and it went really well. But then, because I only started much too late, because there are some days when I just don't want to stitch, or get really fed up because I don't like green, I don't like orange, I don't like brown. So yeah, and then I started on, I think, the 4th. Yeah, I think it was the 4th of January I started, and then I realised I'll never get this finished. I was stitching every evening in front of the TV, every single evening, and it was like stitching and then just going like, I can't do this anymore. Throw it to the side, watch TV, go like, no, I need to finish this. It's a birthday present from my brother. I need to be finished by the 1st of February. So okay, you get it back out and you stitch a bit more, and it's just like, I hate this project, But everybody told me to put it aside and stitch something else. I then thought about, okay, if I have more time and put this aside, just stitch a small squirrel and give that to him for his birthday and then get this later. But I knew I would never do it. So I stuck to it, and I told my brother that he might not be getting his birthday present on his birthday, and I wouldn't know if it would happen or not. And he just presumed that I've ordered something and it might not come on time. I never said I ordered something. I just said, you know, you might not get your birthday present on your birthday. That's all I said. Anyway, we celebrated this birthday on the 3rd, and I finished it at 3 minutes to 11 in the evening the day before. I was so happy. So happy. I finished it. I literally finished it. And then I just rolled it up, put it in a nice paper and a card with it, and said, here you are, give it back, I'll frame it for you, or put it on a mat board or whatever. But he took it with him. But now I found a new, thanks to Stitchina, I had a new idea of how to finish it. So he'll need to give it back to me, and I'll take a picture when I get it back, and then I'll show you how I finish it. But now I'm going to show you what it looks like, because I don't have it. My brother has it and he's not giving it back. I told him, give it back, I'll put it on a mat board and then you can, you know, display it or put it in a frame. I didn't have a frame. He said they might have a frame, but yeah. Anyway, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like when I was finished. Oh my god. Yeah, so that was the squirrel from the Mr. XStitch Guide to Cross Stitch. Really good book. I must say, it's a really good book. I was really surprised, pleasantly surprised, because I just thought, you know, stitchy book, yeah, stitchy book. I know how to stitch, but it's actually really good. So I can recommend this book, definitely. Yeah, so I finished that, which, when I was finished, it was just like, don't want to stitch. Done. And then, of course, I mean, it was what some people call, I only found out later, some people are doing fancy lady fabric. I didn't hear that until about 2 days ago. I heard from other people that they're doing full coverage February, but it was already about the 6th or something until I sort of decided, oh, full coverage. I haven't stitched on a full coverage for about at least half a year, if not longer, and I really miss it. But in between, like, finishing the squirrel, I just needed something like easygoing, something that's you know, it's just here. I got Pattern Keeper out, and it's not got that many colours. I mean, yes, it does in certain places, like the roses, they have more colours, but otherwise it's just, it's roses and lace. So, I mean, just mindless stitching, basically, because you just have one colour. And then I decided to actually stitch this in there, because it just needed a distraction. And I started on this one. It's nearly finished. It's just a bit more green to go in there. But then I'm going to go and continue with the grey, the lace. Just go down. There's more roses in there, and there's also some beads if you want to do them, which I am. I've got them. But those, if I do a Mirabilia or Norcorbet, I bead as I go. Here, I guess, because it's in Pattern Keeper, so I can sort of see where the beads are going, but they're not marked as such. So I'll play it by ear if I'm gonna bead as I go or bead when I'm finished. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, before now, of course I can't remember what I showed you where I was before I started on a squirrel, but I was doing this project, which is the ink circles that I'm doing with Connie as a Sal. Well, she's stitching and I'm stitching on it. We started on the same day, or didn't start on the same day, but we were meant to. It doesn't matter. It's a start along. So we've started, and I think she's changing a lot of her colours. I changed nearly all my colours. And I don't know what I showed you last time, but this is what I've got until now, and I'm actually quite happy with it. And it's just also pretty easy. This is, of course, a paper pattern. It's not in Pattern Keeper. Sometimes paper is fine, and sometimes I just prefer Pattern Keeper. So this is that one. So yeah, that's where I start, and then I don't know which way I'm going to go, but because if you want to do the cube, you would have to leave out some space or whatever, which of course I didn't do. So now I have to do the long one. Otherwise, it actually would have been quite neat to do, but then I'm not very good at finishing, so that doesn't matter. Anyway, so that's what I sort of just pick up, because I just put it in one of these art books that I got from Wiki, Stitch and Button. She's got a Facebook group called Stitch and Button where you can buy all these things. She's also got Flosstube, and she's on Instagram. So yeah, because it's nice and tiny, you know, it's not that big. So I just put it in there and then stick this and this in my project bag. And my plans, I think I showed you that I got for Christmas. I was on the lookout for Enchanted Alphabet by Lavender and Lace, because I really like the alphabet. I don't like the little child in there, is not so for me, but I like the alphabet. And I know that Sarah Stitching Mummy has it and has started. She's somewhere coming towards that fancy lady child. And I know I'm not going to stitch that girl. But I wanted the alphabet, and Shelley found the alphabet for me and then put the floss to it, and that was my Christmas present, which was really nice. And I'm going to start that in April, because Sarah is going to be stitching on that in April. So I'm going to start it fresh, but she's got her rotation. She has so many projects, so it's actually surprising she still sort of knows what she's got going on. Because I just asked her and I said, are you going to be stitching on this sometime this year? And she said, yes, I've got it slotted in for April. She has her rotation and she knows what she needs to get finished, and then she rewards herself with certain other projects, and one of them is going to be Enchanted Alphabet. So she'll probably work a few days on it, 3 days or 5 days, and I then just start with her, and then I just go on for as long as I like. So that's one, a plan. I've actually got a plan, and I'm going to try and stick to it. And then, because I did actually, I like the Facebook group, Full Coverage Fanatics, and I did say that I'd join one of their events, which is the year-long event to stitch on, hopefully finish a full coverage. And as I started with the very first event that they ever had, when the group started, I started with, it's an anchor kit. So the floss is anchor and the pattern is paper pattern for full coverage. Oh my god, we're so spoiled with Pattern Keeper. You can say whatever you like, but if you back up your Pattern Keeper on a regular basis, like every time you've stitched on something, you back up, then you're fine. We're so spoiled. Anyway, so I think last time I showed it, and this is sort of where I am now. And I was in this part, and there's so much. I mean, there's been confetti all over, but I couldn't get this. It just somehow, I was having so many problems with it, and I just didn't enjoy it, and it was a chore, and it was annoying, and I couldn't figure out which symbol is what, and it was just really getting annoying. So that's why I started different ones. I started heights, and yeah, you know how it goes. You say like, I'm going to stitch one full coverage and at a time. Yeah, right. Yeah, I was there once. Anyway, so I've decided, because my usual way is to go from here to there. So that's what I did. I came back, and because the paper pattern has no overlap, so that's a bit, I'm not so happy about that, but it works. So I just knew that I have to start here, and it has half stitches. So these should have all been half stitches. Yeah, I saw that when I had about all of this done. So these are full crosses. But otherwise I did stay with the half stitches wherever there are half stitches. And at the moment, for the half stitches, I'm using 3 strands, because this is 18 count cream Ada. So these half stitches, and I think you can see it, don't know how well you can see it, but it's 3 strands, half stitches, and I'm just going like from here to there, and it's just so much easier. Okay, I already had a frog. I mean, you would think that, you know, doing sort of basic, I had a frog, but it wasn't a lot, and I can do it, so that was okay. So I guess I'm going to stitch a bit on this, a lot hopefully on this, because I do want to get it finished. It's sort of, it's been in my WIP pile for long enough. Because some people were just going like, oh, I've counted my WIPs and I've got too many. I know that I have more than 25 started projects, a lot more than 25 started projects, but I can't deal with more than 25 started projects. I can deal with about five started projects. So at the moment, I have a finished squirrel, as you've seen. I'm stitching on ink circles, I'm stitching on my train, and I'm stitching lace, roses and lace. So I have 3 WIPs. I have 3 WIPs. I can't see anything else. Nope, can't see anything else. I have 3 WIPs. I have so many more, but out of sight, out of mind, and it works. So I guess that's the way that I can work. Otherwise, if I think, you know, all the projects I've got going, and of course I need to, for Stitch Basel, I need to stitch stuff. So I also need to prepare that and get those going, because I'm not good with the deadline. If the deadline's half a year away and it's this size, then I'll manage, but if it's, otherwise I can't do it. Anyway, quickly to Stitch Basel, I just wanted to say that we have 50 people signed up, ready to go for Stitch Basel. But we've opened up for the wait list. So, because I mean, it's still a few months until September. So if you want to just get on a wait list, there's only, I think, 4 or 5 people on the wait list. So, you know, people can sometimes just not come. And then it would be good to have people on the wait list who then would like to come. Also, if you're on a wait list and we decide to do this a yearly event, we can use those addresses on a wait list to write to you and ask, you know, do you want to come a year later? I'm not saying that we're going to do it as a regular thing. I don't know yet. We don't know yet. We haven't done it yet. But at the moment, it's a lot of work. For me, it's a lot of work because I'm doing the finances, I'm doing the organisation, doing the planning. So for me, it's quite a lot of work, and it's a lot of work here at home. Also, I'm doing little goodies for the goodie bag. We have sponsors. Our goodie bag is going to be fantastic. I would never have thought it, but Ina has a way with people. She just gets them to sort of, you know, would you mind sponsoring something? You know, like, oh, you can't come, but would you mind sponsoring? We're getting really good stuff. So our goodie bag will be good. But I've also decided to, you know, make a few things. So you'll get a few surprises in there that you might not expect. But I also have to make them. When with 50 people, it's not just, you know, something here and something there. It's a lot more. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to meeting all these stitchers. And yeah, it should be fun. And for those who have signed up and are planning on coming, just go back to the sign up document and read it again, because there's so many, there's a lot of information in there that'll help you keep your stay here cheap, because Switzerland's not the cheapest country. So, you know, get a hotel in Germany. If you're from a European Union state, stay in Germany, because we're literally walking distance across the border. There's other little tidbits in there on what you should look out for when you book the hotel, other things you can do to keep your stay, your travel to here, your stay here, everything as cheap as possible, so that the retreat cost is not that much in comparison, you know, because the retreat is not in a hotel. Yeah, so I guess that's it. Thank you for watching, and congratulations, Stitchy Sally, 1,000 subscribers! You did it! Oh, it was so great when I saw that. That was amazing. I think there's one or two others just on the brink of getting over the 1,000 subs club. So that's totally amazing and well earned. I mean, Stitchy Sally, she did a lot, and she was very frustrated when you put up Flosstube and you immediately lose 3 subscribers. But she's got over the 1,000, and congratulations, Sally. You did well, and now you can enjoy doing Flosstubes, hopefully. I know you enjoy them, but you get nervous. But now you have 1,000 subscribers, you don't need to get nervous anymore. And for the others, there's still a list of under 1,000 subs. Go and watch them, subscribe to them, but don't just subscribe. Hit the bell, so that you get a notification once in a while, and maybe watch a Flosstube and give a like, a thumbs up, a comment. It does help, you know. You can even, it doesn't matter if you give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Whichever you press for the algorithm on YouTube, it doesn't matter which one you press. If you press either one of them, it means you've interacted with this Flosstube, this video. So that gives you a thumbs up in either way. So just press the up or down, it doesn't matter, and leave a comment. It can just be an emoji to let me know you've been there. And I hope to see a lot more of you. I'm not watching very much Flosstube at the moment, as a lot of you know, but I hope to meet people in real life in September, and I hope that'll change a lot for me. And otherwise, happy stitching, enjoy February. I saw the first crocuses today, and they were like in full sunshine, 11 degrees. It was freezing like yesterday, you know, like freezing cold, icy weather, but they came out in my mum's garden, and she thought it would be Throve Tuesday tomorrow, so she made pancakes today. So after my doctor's appointment, I actually could go and eat pancakes for breakfast, which is something I don't get to do, okay? We don't eat pancakes for breakfast in Switzerland. We don't do that. But as I was there at lunch, and my mum thought it was Throve Tuesday tomorrow, but she wouldn't be able to cook, I got pancakes today. So that was anyway, happy stitching, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.